All right, good morning. We are going to have fun today. You need a chair for today, and you're going to need your real chair with your body. We're going to be warming up, and we're going to be putting everything that we're supposed to have learned about mindfulness, emotional intelligence, and equanimity, which is the evenness of your emotions, especially in a critical situation, which I find is the ultimate spiritual power that allows us to transcend the previous software updates that we had, where we had difficulty, and reach a new software update where we are well in a critical situation where we are our best possible outcome. That is what I feel is a crime for people not to learn to have as they navigate throughout their everyday lives, as they are trying to offer the best possible service that comes from the foundation of their wellness, right? Your wellness is your business. So why not propel your business with your wellness, right? So we're going to be starting with warming up our body in every way possible, and we're just going to put everything to the test. So fight day, we're fighting for our wellness, right? So what we're going to start doing is we're going to use the chair, and this is going to be very easy warm-ups you can do that are absolutely necessary when you're going to get tested. We're going to see everything today. So as we begin, let's begin with having our foot. Remember, always make sure that the open foot is supported, or you support yourself with an open foot, and I'm sweeping in and out. I remember I prefer having my inhale with my leg going up. So let's go for it. And this is a review, right? So the information is in the class that was happening throughout the week. So here I'm not going to go with all the information about each exercise because it's a review. I'm trying to get into a zone here. Right? Never forcing the body. So I could go with a and inhale. I'm assessing if everything from head to toe feels good right now. And the number one mistake why people hate exercise and feel like it's difficult for their mind and for the body and it's unbearable, is because they're not monitoring their wellness as during the activity. What they feel that they need to be guided by is images of what they feel they need to be doing, which is suck it up and just push through. Yeah, okay, and then you're being careless about your body. You're being mindless about it. You'll pay the consequences for that, okay? So the next thing I'm gonna practice here is stretching out my arms, especially at the shoulders. So I'm gonna move back. See, I'm trying to keep a straight back, and I'm moving back really to get a good stretch for my shoulders and my back. It's supposed to feel good, and there's a resistance. I'm not just fully stretching. There's a light resistance from my muscles, and perfect. Okay, great. Another thing that we're going to do here that's going to help with the chair is just having something to go around. Okay, so for me right now, what I'm going to practice, and I like this one, it's really being able to shift my body weight enough to the side. I mean, if I need to dodge something, I need to be at least able to transfer my whole body weight out of the way easily. So remember, how do you do this? Am I super standing tall? No, look how my body's relaxed. I'm grounded. See, this is me perfect tall and grounded. So I have this like grounded mobility here. And this is what we're going to practice. All right, let's do this. And you go at the speed that your body is letting you know that things are all good, right? If you want to have a dream body, you better have dream listening skills. Right? Your body is always talking to you, but we ignore it and we're listening to the voice of the coach yelling at us, right? It's your responsibility to be mindful about your internal management. You know, like right now, are my joints liking this? Yes or no? Right now, I'm going at a maximum that my joints are saying, Marvin, we're good. We're still good. Okay? Imagine relationships, how good they could be when you could sense your inner body to those details. All right. It's like high definition listening. This is the next level. And this just consuming energy because these are ballistic movements. It's like as if I was jumping here. See? You're trying to make yourself untouchable. Someone wants to attack you, you're here, you're over there now. We practice this during the week also, as this is the last exercise of the week. and just being able to turn around and flow, appear someone else. But you appear somewhere else with a strike that's loaded. It's like you're loading your gun as you're moving, and then you fire when the person has no clue what's happening. Love it. Sorry, that's just the type of person I am. Some people need that skill. And I could do it with a smile. Another talent I have as we're on this topic is, when I see people having like these big scandals, like with Novak Djokovic that keeps breaking his racket recently, and he's supposed to be the #1 in the world, and he's always wondering, why is it I can't get the recognition that Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer have? Well, I mean, count how many times they broke their racket, right? How they are in their winning and how they are in their losing is what makes people want to be like them, right? So I have people with that, not breaking their rackets. All right, so now there's a full 360. See, full 360. So I'm just trying to replicate. This is life. This is the skills I need more. Not running. I don't need to run. I need to be able to walk like a turtle to where I want to go. My pace is undying. And then if there's a sprint, it's a relevant sprint, right? It's for me to fly out of the way and not lose my composure. And now let's go with the other side. Do you get it? It's all about my composure. High intensity composure. People will get burnt out. I won't. You sprint towards me, I'm just going to float right out of the way, right? And you just burnt like half your energy in a way because of the sprints. And you don't know how to manage your sprints. I'm always sprinting and I'm always walking. You get it? So you got to develop what you want to have. I don't want to crack under pressure. I want my wellness to be with me no matter the situation. And now see, my body is in a state of flow. I could talk to you and my exercise never was broken. I don't even have to be like, oh, what am I doing again? And that's another thing we want to learn, flow. Look, my body is doing this on its own. See, its higher intelligence has embarked, right? I don't have to think anymore. It's like my body is just doing it better and better. See, there you go. And my body's happy. That's what we want. So here, I think we kind of are almost done with the chair. Okay, so I'm gonna get this out of the way. Thank you, Chair. You're useful. Thank you. I hope it's not going to be too much in the way. All right, so the next thing we're going to be practicing now is twisting, but we're going to go directly into reaching. Watch your elbow here. I stay here because I'm correcting my elbow that hyperextends. See, I have this undying tendency of hyperextending my elbow. That means it's always going to be like that unless I mindfully override it. So when you have bad habits, they've been built for so long that you have no choice to be mindful. Your mind, your heart is assessing what's happening as you're moving. You're not necessarily thinking, right? You're just allowing what you thought about and what you registered to be felt by your heart. So it's the feeling. So see, I'm just allowing my arm to bend and it feels much more natural to me here. Okay, good. Because I need to correct that so that when I send something out, I have this natural bend that stays in my arm and the rotation that's going to make sure that I don't hurt my elbow. Okay, I want to have fun here. It's my responsibility. Good, that was good. So now we're going to start pissing off the body in a way. But in a manner that I could override it to be well. So I'm going to allow my wellness to grow in. So first thing we're going to do here, the chair. Okay, I love the chair. We're going to stay here for an undetermined period of time. And you're not here to suffer. You're here to transcend it. I think transformation is the formation, is the alignment of the habits that allow you to transcend. So transcend formation. Transcending formation, let's just call it transformation. Unless you see it that way, you're going to be misled, right? So I'm here to transform people, allow them to transcend the previous software updates they had. So here, my knees are happy. My toes could be wiggled, as you can see. Am I comfortable? How can I be more comfortable here? And I dare to see how more comfortable I could be. And when I'm comfortable in the oven, right? I welcome it and I cool myself. And we talked about this during the week. What it is to be cool is your ability to cool yourself in a situation. I don't know, high performance engine, it seems to be the only thing to talk about. It's not how how hot the engine can get, and how fast it can go, is how much cooling assists the powerful engine. If that's what makes us buy a more expensive car, the cooling of the high performance engine, why don't we translate this to the everyday life? All the work that you do, how good is your cooling system, right? And it's simultaneous. As the engine works, the cooling happens, right? So there are things that need to happen together. So there's always this management, right, of high performance. And the cooling system, if it's not good, then you can't access the full range of your engine. You can't access the full power of what your heart can go and feel and sense as you're trying to give a service to others, right? That they'll be grateful to receive. Your mind's intelligence also, it's connected to that engine. This is right in the middle of everything. How efficient I could compress my energy in a matter of time. How much energy can I compress per measure of time? So you see, I'm in a state of flow here again, right? Wow, you're lucky you're catching me today in a state of flow. But what I had to do for this is impeccable sleep. Last night, I had a perfect 7.5 hours of deep sleep. And yeah, my mind, I just noticed, is invincible. I also take pure therapeutic ketones, if some people are asking, which is something that is 100% bioavailable. It's the only one that is. And it puts you in ketosis, so your body could use its fat stores. That's how I lost about like 40 pounds in the last month. And yeah, it was disgusting. I was at 230 at some point, right? So yeah, because I'm testing what combos of food could mix or should not mix. And because of that, I realized it's really easy to gain weight when you're not mixing the right foods. It's not about the quantity, right? It's just what foods needs to mix or not. So if that's something you've been struggling with, just let me know. And this is how, by keeping those foods out, and by being able to have my ketones and sleep well, my focus, my mental health is at full power. My engine is at full power, right? So this is cool here. What happens if you get too tired as you're doing this? You could do this, right? But for us, we're good here. We made the point. My mind right now is invincible. As you can see, my legs, it didn't matter. Although I'm sweating, my mind was never affected by the tension that came to my legs. And this is a challenging exercise. Cool. All right. So what are we going to do next here? We're going to start going into a circus of things that are very tough for the body. Number one that I find very tough, I'm not sure which angle I'll give to you. I'll give you this angle of it, is grounding myself like we did with the chair. See, the same thing. And we're going to crawl ourselves forward into a push-up formation. You could go on your knees, or you could just do a very partial push-up that allows you to think about the whole picture of what you're doing, right? This is 1 rep about to complete itself right here. See, and it's, do I fix my posture before coming up, right? People just go up and they forget about their back. You let your back down every time you stand up, and then you're wondering why you have neck and back problems, right? So right here, I see where there's a mistake, I correct my back and I stand up. And just stay in a flow here. Let's go. And people rush, right? Slower, more mindful. That was 2 reps. We're going for 5 stars. Every time you do it, you're like, okay, I could do this better. And people need a chance to understand what they're doing so they could get better at it when things get tough. Just breathe. Don't worry about when you're breathing, just see if I almost went too low and I almost felt it in my elbow. See, that's why I go with a partial push-up. I didn't warm up my arms before, right? So this is the first exposure to a warm-up. And I could have just done a plank as well and been okay. All right. So this is the last one we're going to finish with. So you got to expect that everything you should do could hurt you. You can't just give up and be like, well, everything hurts anyways, or just patch up your arms and legs with wraps. The real wrap is your mindful muscle control. And that's what a doctor told me once. I was like, hey, what is the best thing I could do for my knee? And he was telling me the best thing you could do for your knee is, because I asked him what best brace I could have. Yeah, that's what it was. And he was like, the best brace you could have are your muscles. And it stayed with me because I was a kid, right? And it never left me. And then that's what I had to understand what mindfulness was, although I grew up in a Christian church, and it never showed me any examples of what mindfulness was, right? So to dare step aside the boundaries of what was comfortable in my education and go pierce through to new realms of information and apply them in my daily living. And then this is why I could bring you this information. Are you still in some old school way of thinking of how you were brought up, or are you daring to go and allow more information from outside to come and help you connect the dots of you being well? Right? You gotta dare, you gotta fight, you gotta go learn, you gotta expand your knowledge, right? And this is why I'm so happy I could bring this to you. All right, perfect. That was our that was our cool down. So I hope that you're okay with what we just did. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go attack again the arms, but in a plank position. We're gonna practice our super plank, which it's like bodybuilding for your abs. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go down on my elbows. I'm gonna make sure my shoulders are not raised, my shoulders are down. Okay, that engages my back muscles. First, I will squeeze just my abs so they come off the floor. They're so shortened. Then I prepare my toes to help me come off the floor. And ooh, back down. I let go of my ab contraction. I re-squeeze it, and then I get my knees to come off the floor. Relax your neck and back down. That's 2. We're going for 5 stars, okay? Squeeze and up. And down. 2 more. Re-squeeze the abs and then off the floor. 1, 2, 3, and down. And I restore myself. Re-squeeze, and this is tough. Re-squeeze and off the floor. Relax the neck. 1 more. And down. And allow my arms to go above my head here. And just to stretch again the arms the same way I was using the chair at the beginning of our session. And awesome. Okay, great. Another thing we're going to practice, because we're close to the floor, is looking to my right without bending my spine. I look to the right. See, I just rotated my head, but I want my spine to stay straight. Then I extend my right leg and open my hips. When I open my hips, my spine is still straight and back down. That's the danger here. Don't bend your spine to the side like a dolphin. All right, so I look to my left, I extend my leg, and then I open up my hips. Notice that when I open my hips, my foot goes up higher and down, right? Never open your hips from the first shot. You're practicing to notice the difference between extending your leg, which is like a back kick, right? And then you open up your hips. See, and it could even go higher. Whew, I love this. Out. Yeah, that's how you want to feel, that stability, when you're sending out one of your side kicks, right? And we practice with the foot, with the hand that stays on the floor, just to assist your kick, okay? All right, perfect. We're gonna get out of this position with 1 foot at a time. So left foot, right foot, and I stand up. All right, I'm gonna come back down to the floor and go back on my knees. Right foot, left foot. See, I want my hands to be like in between my leg as much as possible. I fix my posture and I stand up. Okay, we're just gonna do it 1 more time. It's just at least get your body to practice doing this, right? What if I had to do this real quick? Well, 1, 2, quicker, fix my posture, and I get up. I still have to have those steps. And that's the thing, is that when we rush in life, we lose this graceful awareness, right? We lose all notion of previous instructions. And perfect, okay? So now we're standing. So what we're doing here when we're opening up our hips is the same thing as if I would be able to have my hands on the floor. See, I'm here like a bear, fingers on the floor. See, I could bring up my leg real straight. And then see, I could open up my hips. This is where people would lose balance. So what you could do is that you could keep your fingers on the floor and look under your armpit to your leg. Okay, fix your posture. This is a tough one because of going up and down all the time. Restore myself. I find my floor. See, now my body weight's shared on my fingers. So now it's easier for me to lift my leg. And then I see under my armpit, I could see my foot wiggle open to the side. And then stand back up. This surprisingly uses a lot of energy. All right, you might see another secret that I have, a patch that I wear here that's connected to my stem cell production. If you have questions, you let me know, all right? So here, fingers, we're gonna go with the left leg, okay? So I extend my leg and then I open. See? And back down. And see my back, it was okay, but I wasn't as mindful as I could be. So these are opportunities for you to be mindful. See, I have my hands off, or I can keep it here, okay? Fix my back, that was better. I was more mindful about it. See, bring my body weight on one side, extend and open, okay? Notice my fingers create a triangle with my foot. Fix my back and up. Okay, we're gonna do one more this side. Coming down. See, I walk my fingers to create this triangle with my hands and my foot. Then this leg is free to go up and then open. And I can see it here. Okay, perfect. So remember when we were doing all these movements while turning here and back? Well, imagine if I was taking my right hand and I wanted to put it on the floor, right? And then I have my left hand also go on the floor, and then I could bring up that foot and be like, oh, I could stand up this way. Yeah. Try to take your left hand and bring it to the floor, like, okay. My right hand could come and assist on the floor to create that triangle, right, with my foot. And look, I use my fingers to get myself back up. And look where I land, in my squat. The landing pad is your squat. So if you squat, you land like this in it, you are going to damage your helicopter whenever it takes off and whenever it lands. Think about it. So see, I'm trying to get this hand here. My hand and my foot do the same thing. And I use the assistance of both hands to bring up this leg across. It's a defensive standing up. Oh my goodness, I dodged something, right? And I better let the person, don't come close. Don't come close. It's like a blade, right? And look, coming up. Wasn't this our side angle pose we're practicing? Well, isn't it useful now, right? So I'm gonna find my floor, assistance of both my legs, and take your time, see? And stand up. Learn to recognize your posture. There's not one way of doing this, see? I could go with both hands, but I need more mobility to do that. I fix my hands. And look, now I have to get off the side angle pose. See? So I'm going to stay with the one hand principle. One hand down. The other one comes to support. Bring them closer to my foot. And see here? I need my fingers to help turn me. So let's go a little bit faster. Two more. See? I could have had the same hand go on the floor. See? Or the other hand go above. I say go with the above hand. It just makes it easier. And go. See? The outside hand coming. And then go. That was too fast for most people. 1, 2. That makes sense. 1 and 2. And you don't have to have your leg go high. You have to go with your leg going as high as you feel comfortable. But doesn't this feel cool? All right. You ready for some more ninja stuff? I think you are. I think you are. So what we're going to practice is we're going to practice when you went to the floor. I could have had this hand go on the floor also to turn around, okay? So let's try it this way. See this hand that goes on the floor, my extended pose? Well, my extended pose is just supposed to get my hand here. I could do the same kick and open my hips, see? Recognize your squat and come up. So I'm making this even more elementary. This demands a crazy amount of energy, but it's in my mobility and strength of mind and heart, right? See, I'm not bending my back. My back is erect, and I change this angle. See? Then, see, I'm trying to get this hand on the floor still, right? Boom. Get my fingers over here, extend that leg straight, and then open my hips. See? And up. 2 more of these. This sucks away your energy. Coming down, finding my floor to get this hand on the floor. See? Extend straight and open. I'm basically reviewing at this point everything you did. All right? And this is going to be our last one. See, coming down in my squat, finding my floor, this leg extends, right? We did this, see? And this is to go reach, see? The pivot we're practicing even yesterday. Straight, open the hips. Recognize my squat. And that's how you become a master. You're reviewing all the little tiny high definition steps, right? That could be skipped sometimes, that separates the amateur from the professional. Okay, so this is when you have a professional camera. Could you see more or less details? Do you have more or less options? Exactly. So it's not just the bigger picture of things. That's the amateur level. But the amateur level here, disconnected to your wellness, you'll have an amateur level of wellness, which is unacceptable. The real wellness you have, you want to be a professional of wellness, and that is to slow down things, pull them apart, and make sure you could correct every single aspect of it. And guess who's going to help you correct it? Your own damn body giving you the feedback, but you're listening to it now. Okay, great. I like that ninja stuff. All right, back into going to action here. We're going to go back into doing this sequence of push-ups where you could stop it with just a plank, but we are doing it nonstop. Okay, we're going for 5 stars again. I'm starting this way this time before we start over there. So here I want to practice to be relax, relax. My back is straight, and I move forward slowly, so there's nothing that could mentally piss me off. See, I stay more time at the bottom and come back up. It's like if I can only do 5 of them, that means I have to practice to squeeze more into each movement. Relax, strong core. My abs are firing at 100% right now. My neck, as relaxed as possible. One. Oh my goodness, this is 1 out of 5. Look, man, warriors of wellness, all right? This is good. You gotta get excited. This is just the beginning, right? Ready? Let's go. Two. We got this. One more. See, I'm always restoring myself. I'm cooling myself. All this steam coming out of my engine, right? I'm cooling myself in at the same time and letting the heat dissipate. I set my mind on something and nothing will affect its quality. See, as beautiful as I can, right? And we just transformed the push-up in a very powerful one. How do I do that? Instead of trying to go fast or go really low, I went as low as it's not going to drain me. And I spend more time in it to compensate to get into a higher energy expenditure. I spend more time at the hardest point without going at the almost hardest point, right? And I spend more time there. So it goes beyond my hardest, which would have made me maybe sacrifice quality. So to keep the integrity of my neck, not injure my elbows, I choose to not go to the maximum bottom, and I assess, okay, this is not my maximum, but I'm gonna spend more time there. It went beyond your maximum effort in reality because of the strategy you use, but at least never sacrifice your neck, and you can keep going, and you can keep going, and you can keep going. That's the same way that when you go through your day, you see what your maximum effort is, you stay right before that, but you're more mindful with what you're doing, so you're never burning out your energy. It will make more sense to you, but just remember that the same way you're managing your energy during your exercise, believe it or not, is the exact same thing of how you manage your mental energies throughout the day. There is the maximum effort where you're just mindless and you're stressed, and you, as you can see, you're all over the place and you make certain mistakes. And now you're just a little bit more mindful. You're aware of the maximum effort that you need to put, but because you're so mindful, it balances out so that you don't drain your mental energy in the process. That's what's happening. Cool. I hope you got this here, because that was the main essence I want to get today. When I'm challenging myself in my chair, the sequence here, that's what was really happening. And look, we did ninja stuff. So sometimes you might feel, wow, I don't have the coordination for that. It might take you so much mental effort that you're probably just doing anything, right? Or you're just frustrating yourself. Why frustrate yourself? Just stay mindful with what your body's telling you to do. And you'll see that the frustration that you had, it's wasted energy because you're talking yourself out of it. Like, I wish this was easy. Why do I have to do that? Is this very necessary? Does this burn enough calories? You get it? Well, in reality, this is the mental flexibility. The cost of mental energy when you don't have the right mental flexibility. You get it? But when you're so open, it's like, all right, let's see this. You see, there's no resistance. So you don't drain your energy in talking yourself back and forth. You just flow and go with what needs to happen. Got it? All right, it is the same thing. Okay, good. So I hope you enjoyed that speech. Let's finish off with a big mega sequence of things and make this as fun as possible. Okay? All right. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to practice the sequence that we started off with at the beginning. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be here, just my chair here, imaginary chair. So I'm going to practice shifting here, shifting there, going forward and going back. Okay? And I'm going to do as if I was doing a sprint and back. Okay? Remember, this is useful stuff. And see, when I run, how's my posture? See? My abs are engaged, right? I did not break my back here. Okay, just remember that. So I've grounded myself, ground, and see, I could accelerate. Okay? Don't worry, it's just like I thought about maybe I need to move forward, right? That's all you want. That drains your energy. So it's the sprinting aspect. And if you're not sprinting, you're not really doing any exercise, right? So I'm being mindful, but to go towards the exercise that demand the most energy, to sprint, right? And does my body get bent out of shape when I sprint? So I'm practicing to do a lot of sprints without getting bent out of shape. Like, you imagine you're thinking about, oh my goodness, I'm gonna hit them in the head with a hammer. See that burst of anger? That's what happens when couples like explode on each other. There's that sprint and they stay in it. They stay in the tension. What if the sprint stopped right there, right? You and then you catch yourself. And then you take a step back and then you look at it from different angles, right? And then you choose to go towards where the person's really at, where they're really saying, right? Right. So this is what you think they're saying. You're like, no. Where they're trying to say, take a step back. You look at them, okay, good. Oh, that's what you're really trying to tell me. Okay, I'm going towards it. And back. You're like, okay. All right, let's go back to what they're trying to say. Really? Huh. So think about the sprint about going deeper, focusing, right? And you're mindfully going to understand what the person is saying. See this as your mental effort to go deeper into something. You're aware of everything. You're aware of what they might be saying, right? And you're asking questions, and then you're going back with the words. What are the words trying to say? And what is the body and their feelings trying to say? Their body language, right? What visual is in their mind? 2 more. See, and it's just this catching yourself, right? It's about catching yourself. There's that burst and you catch the burst. And I think that's the most powerful power that you could have. Yes, powerful power. Maybe it makes no sense. Don't Google it. But maybe that's the most powerful power that you can have here. About to catch yourself about to ruin your day or ruin someone else's day. Or just accept that, well, couples fight, right? Or you don't know how to really get what they're trying to say beyond their words. To think about. All right, so now I'm nice and fun and relaxed. Let's go with going into some kicks, okay? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna allow my hand to go towards the floor, and look what happens. I'm gonna turn, sprinter position. See? And back. Don't snap your kick, right? Look what I'm gonna do here. See, there's already a leg behind. That wasn't that good. That's okay, it is what it is. Well, what do I want to make it look like? That was a little bit better. I felt I had more control. So what do you want from your kick, right? I want to make sure that I have a form of balance when I do it. I feel stable. So if I meet resistance, I'm not going to get pushed back. So, and back is tough. We're going to do another variation soon. Not yet. Yes, I've mastered it now. All right, let's do one more on each side where it's mastered. Attention to the body. See that? Out and back in. So I've perfected the balance my upper body needs to have. It's more forward and comes back to forward. All right, now we're going to step in with the kick. Watch. I come up, I step in with the kick and bring it back. I step in with the kick and bring it back. Make sure your back is always good here. And bring it back. Last one. Take your time. Everything has to feel good. And bring it back. Good. Yeah, that's amazing. Like sending something and bring it back. Okay? That was really beautiful how we're able to do that. Let's practice how we went down into the movement first of all. So I came down here and I went to my sprint position. Okay? And up. Come back. Turn back here and went down. See? And I found my sprint position. So, because when I went down, my hips were open here, right? And then I twisted my hips to come here, okay? And then I could practice coming back. So, side, see, I'm at my side, and then I turn my hips, and then I strengthen my back, so that my back doesn't bend when I'm doing this. Okay, I can practice even bringing out my arms, and back here. Side, right? Turning my hips, and then think about rowing. Roll yourself up without hyperextending your elbows. I'm gonna do one more on each side. Turn my hips and my back. Row. Roll your upper back or your backs are around. One more. See, assist. When I assist my arm on my leg, there's less tension on my back. And the goal is to reduce the tension on my muscles and make sure that I'm not hurting them. They're being like overwhelmed by not using my entire body as an orchestra, right? So I hope that you enjoyed this section also, because we're still working with our mobility, we're working a lot of core, and we're strengthening our lower back from every angle possible. It's because your lower back doesn't do such exercises that it's always getting hurt, okay? So that was good. Last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna do the plank again, because I think it's a good finisher to have. And this was part 2 of basically setting up a condition which seems unbearable and shine in it, okay? Squeezing and up. So I really hope you did yesterday's session, which was helping us to practice mindful injury prevention. As here today, we're putting movements that consume a lot of energy. And back down. Ooh, I really feel that one. Because see, we've been using your abs all along, so when you're really super isolating the abs, whew, it confirms to you how much you've been working throughout the session. So I like when people ask me, oh, do you have any exercise for abs? I'm like, when in our session have we not been using our abs? It's like when were our abs not working, right? And last one, perfect, okay? And this is the beauty of it. It's like the abs are always working, right? But people have developed such a disconnect with their bodies, right? That they go through movements without allowing this internal management of the energies that they have to keep it safe and to allow it to progress. You are the specialist. So I believe in your ability to be a specialist of your exercise. So I hope you enjoyed today. Like I said, I didn't want to make it too much of a killer workout, but when you look at how much you could compress into your workout, it changes everything, okay? So I hope you enjoyed today's class, and we will see each other next time. It was a pleasure for me to do this, and Saturdays is always a time where we have a group meditation, and I will be also offering a presentation that I will do in the afternoon, and I just hope people could just, take the time to have both, right? Like I had a meditation time and I had a time for deeper thinking, let's say when I'm in nature. Maybe I'll do it before the afternoon. The time is still to be set. So thank you everyone for joining in. This is a movement. This is taking our health personally and allowing ourselves to realize that the only person that could guarantee you to be well is yourself. And you have to have the courage to develop that's it. It's developing the courage to create a path that allows you to be well and measure it. And if you're measuring how well you could be throughout the day, you accept that there's something within your capacity that could manage it. But when you feel it could only come from the outside, I hope outside's gonna be beautiful. I hope other people are being kind to me. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do how you're kind to yourself and how you can adjust your temperature to other people that are suffering just like you. Anyone giving you a bad day is probably suffering just like you or worse. How can you connect heart to that, right? Like this exercise. That's what you saw. That's your first impulsion, right? And then you're like, what's really going on? Got it. I saw it behind. Look at them from the back door. That's what's really going. That's what's cranking them. See them as a toy that got cranked. That's what's cranking them. Okay, got it. Now you come back to their world, right? And you ask a question. You appreciate inquiring about what's really going on. It's like, okay, all right, good. And then based on the question, and you go back and you observe how they're being cranked now, right? And then you're gonna see your truth come out eventually. Take care, everyone. And I think that was the most important thing, is how you're gonna use this in your everyday life. I would love to get your testimonials about it. And until next time. Ciao, everyone.